welcome back to the Wealthy Girls podcast, where we talk about all things money, mindset, and making moves, no matter your age. And as always, I'm your host, Oreofe Ola, and today's episode is actually super special because we're going to be talking about why financial confidence starts right now, even if you're still in high school. Now, here's the twist. My guest today is not a business guru, not an investor, not a business coach. She's actually 14 years old, actually. Yeah, you heard that right. She's part of the next generation of money smart young women, and we're going to be talking today about how social media is shaping the way teens see and spend money. So, if you feel like your teens are always watching TikTok trends or YouTube hauls and going on about what they need to be buying with their money based on what Instagram or TikTok is telling them, well, this is a good episode to actually tune into with your teens. And our topic for today is the power of the pause. So let's get started. Do you mind introducing yourself first for our viewers?
My name is Oreofe. I'm 14 years old.
Hi, Oreofe. Welcome to All the Hills podcast. So, could you tell the guests about yourself, your name, who you are, and what you like doing?
My name is Oreofe Ola. I'm 14 years old, and in school I normally focus on doing like sports and drama. Yeah.
Okay, so apart from so let's get you comfortable. So apart from sports and dramas, what are your favorite subjects to do in school?
None.
So you don't like any subjects in school?
Maybe like history or English or
English, yeah. So
theory.
you like English, yeah, which kind of relates to me. Okay, so what excites Urofe? What are the things that gets Urofe excited? So outside of school.
Like spending time with around friends.
And what else?
And
Nothing. So what else do you like doing apart from spending time with friends?
um
Why are you hesitating?
because I don't know.
You actually don't know about spending time with friends. So let's see. Okay, let me ask the question differently. What is it that your mom or your dad complains about that you do in the house that they think you spend a lot of your time on?
Online.
Online. So what do you do online?
I watch TikToks.
Yeah, so that's where we're going. You watch TikTok. So what kind of things do you watch on TikTok?
Just things that come up on my For You page.
Okay, so how do you think TikTok has actually influenced your life as a person?
It hasn't really influenced me. It's just entertainment.
It's just entertainment.
Yeah.
So has TikTok ever made you spend money on something that you never really would spend money on?
Well, not really. If like it's influenced me to buy something, but it's not that I wouldn't spend my money on it. Like I would still spend my money on it if I saw it, but TikTok introduced me to that product.
So what kind of products has TikTok introduced you to?
Like Longchamps and Uggs and iPads and lots of other stuff as well.
Makeup brands.
Makeup, not really, but yeah, in some parts, yeah.
So do you think that okay, when it comes to spending money, TikTok has kind of influenced you to spend money on more expensive stuff than you normally would?
Not really.
You sure?
Yeah.
So what are the shops? Your local shops, and then
My local shops.
yeah,
Well, I've got Blanchardstown Shopping Centre, which has like everything.
yeah. What do you buy in that shopping center?
Well, there's lots of stuff. There's like a Hollister,
Like a what is Zara?
there's like loads of shoe shops. Like there's a lot of stuff.
So do you buy your jeans from Hollister or Zara?
Well, yeah,
So the jeans you're wearing today, where did you buy it from?
I bought them from Motor Rocks.
Motor Rocks, yeah.
Yeah, but most of my jeans are from Hollister.
Most of your jeans are from Hollister. So if you look at, so how did you discover Motor Rocks?
Um, People online.
People online. What platform online did you discover Motor Rocks?
TikTok. It was this influencer that like she does a lot of fashion now. Now she's actually got her own brand line with like popular people like Hollister and Abercrombie and stuff like that. But when she was first starting out, she had like the jeans on, and I didn't buy them up until later because I wanted to know if they were actually good. But then people from my school started buying them. They said they actually were really good quality and stuff. So.
So you actually, I mean, thought about the quality before you started spending money
Mhm.
on them. Okay. So for the benefit of our listeners, right? How much does a multi-rocks jeans cost on average?
Uh, well, like pounds,
Yeah, pounds.
like £55
Yeah,
per pair.
okay, okay, that's not, I mean, that's not too bad. How much does a pair of jeans cost in Zara? Do you know?
Probably around the same price.
So that's something you kind of need to look into. So when you first of all start thinking about money, right, and not just spending it, but earning and saving it, I mean, what were the first things that you kind of thought about? So how do you earn money at the
Well,
moment?
through my brand.
Through your brand. Okay, so what does your brand do?
Well, our brand uh creates like products like jumpers, hoodies, sweatshirts, shirts, sweatpants, keychains, pillowcases, a lot of stuff.
And what's the key differentiating thing about your brand? So how what does your brand do? Apart so what message does your brand do?
Well, most of the messages that I'm trying to share is through the brand clothing and it has it on them. So, like for example, like believe in your dreams and like be uniquely you. Like those are some of the things that I put on my brand. So then my brand is almost like branded in a unique way, so that people notice it when they're wearing it, and it will make them feel good while they're wearing it as well.
So you started earning money like at a very young age. So we're gonna walk through a journey. So for the sake of our listeners, at what age did you start your brand and did you start earning money with your brand?
Well, I started from brand when I was like 7, but obviously, like at the time, like I money wasn't really something that I could like spend like in a way. Like I wasn't really able to have big amounts of money at one time because obviously I was younger, so I probably wouldn't know what to spend it on. I probably would just spend it on random things. But as I got older, like the range started to get bigger, and also when I started to expand my brand as well, I learned a lot because I would do some pop-ups as well for my brand when I was younger and now as well. And I got a lot of money off of those. But it was good because obviously you have to use the money that you make to buy more stock if you want your brand to continue. So you can't have 100% of the profit that you make from it and stuff.
So you're saying that you don't like kind of like spend all the money that you kind of like earn on your brand. A lot of it actually goes back into your brand and you only spend like a percentage of it. So like what percentage of the money are you allowed to spend?
Well, like it depends. I think it depends how much money you make. If you make like bigger amounts of money, you'll get a bigger amount of money being sent to you, like obviously. But I feel like when I make bigger amounts of money, I can get a bigger percentage because then still even if I have a bigger percentage being taken to me, the other percent of the money, which is still a lot, which is obviously probably going to be more than I'm actually getting, is going to go to restock and making more, maybe even making new clothes and other things like that.
Okay. So how do you think social media has influenced the way you and your friends kind of like talk about money?
Well, I wouldn't say social media has really influenced our way that we talk about money because everyone kind of sees money in the same way. Like it's money. Like like it's not like there's nothing social media says about money that's like invalid or negative. Like everything about money is positive. I wouldn't see why they would say something that is negative about money because everyone wants it and everyone like most people have it. So it's like social media hasn't really influenced.
So what do you mean by what social media says about money is positive? So what are the things that social media said about money that you think is positive?
Well, just about things that like it's not really like certain like specific situations. It's just in the fact that in social media people don't really talk about money as often as people think. Like it's not a subject that's being brought up. Like it's not something that people actually talk about. Like it's honestly kind of almost a sensitive topic in a way. Like people don't really like to share the amount of money that they have that they've made. So it's usually something that's not really been said. So for me, since I'm younger as well, me and my friends, we don't really talk about money in that way.
So you guys don't talk about money at all. Do you talk about
I mean, the only time we would talk about money is I don't know if you want to go and buy something and like, or like, oh no, like I don't have enough money or whatever. Like, but it's not like something that's like a key topic.
okay? So what does money mean to you as a 14-year-old?
Well, I think it depends. Like, I feel like it has different meanings. Like, if you're saying that you're rich, like, there's different ways to be rich. That some people think that being rich is like one person could think being rich is having huge amounts of money. One person could think being rich is being able to provide for your family and having living a happy life. But I think like if like I feel like money is just like physical or just not physical. Like I don't think it has a meaning. It's just something that you can spend, I guess.
So you have no attachment to money. For you, it's just something that you can kind of spend, really.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what does financial confidence mean to you as a teen? You personally?
I think like financial confidence, I think it's when you're comfortable enough to be able to spend not large amounts of money, but a good amount of money while still being able to provide for yourself or whoever you're living with. Like being confident in the fact that if you go shopping, like you will still have enough money afterwards to be able to provide for the other people that you live with and things like that.
Okay. So, do you save money?
I think it depends really, because uh, not really, but I think it's because I'm younger and I feel like I know this sounds bad, but I don't really need to save money at this age. Like, if I'm not working to buy something, then I don't need to save money in that way. Like, obviously, like I can save money for the good. Like, I don't know, I don't have to spend. I don't know. Let's say I get 200 out of my account. I don't need to spend all 200. I can spend 100 and save the rest. Maybe if I want to buy something later, like that's the type of saving that I'm talking about. But if we're talking about genuinely putting money into a separate account, it's just like if I'm not looking to buy anything, I don't really see a point, especially since I'm so young.
Okay. So you actually walk to spend. I actually like what you just said, walking to spend. So what would you walk to spend? So basically, you want to buy something. So you know that. Yeah. So how do you walk to spend?
Usually through my brand, really. I work through my brand to spend the money that I would like to spend because I can't always, go to my parents for money as well. Also, as I'm getting older as well, like people want to teach younger kids a lesson of not spending too much money at once because it could be a problem for people when they get older. Like there's so many stories about people who won the lottery and then they spend all their money at once and then they couldn't be able to pay for the facilities that they've bought and stuff like that.
So let's play a game, right, on money. I'm gonna ask you two questions. So and in relation to parents. So when it comes to money and spending money, my dad always says, what does the dad say to you when you're asking for money? My dad always says,
He doesn't ask me for money.
no, no, when you ask him for money and you ask him to buy something for you, what does the dad say? So my dad always says,
Ask him.
and then when you ask your mom, what does your mom say?
Ask your dad.
Okay. Who ends up buying it?
You.
Yeah, well, sometimes, yeah. My mom. So, okay, now the cat is out of the bag. She's actually my daughter. We didn't say that at the beginning of the podcast. Um, so, um, you started earning money at a very young age. You know, you have your brand. And apart from your brand, what else do you earn money from?
Not really anything else, really.
Apart from your acting, your ads.
Oh yeah, well, I do like acting and acting jobs, which I get money out of, but I feel right like it definitely is like a big like factor, but I feel like I focus more on my brand than my acting at the moment because of like even just for simple reasons because in the summer acting jobs aren't very popular. They're very popular during the winter terms because usually they set the movies out, whatever they're doing in the summer. So filming things in the summer is like very rare and people don't really look for jobs for people to come in and do things for the summer. So during the summer I like to like kind of give myself a rest from acting because since I'm a drama scholar in school I do it like a lot in school. So it's good to know to sometimes take a rest from it and things.
So this summer, apart from your brand, what other thing have you done to kind of like earn money? What other business did you start recently? What did you earn money from?
Yeah.
Facebook.
Oh. Um,
Very good. So yeah.
me and my brother started this face painting thing, and it's kind of just like a little gig that we've been doing, but we were making money off of it. But the money's obviously been split 50-50 between me and my brother. But last time when he wasn't there, the money was split like 70-30 because he wasn't there. But the money that I made was going to something that I wanted to buy. So
Okay, how do you decide if something is actually worth spending your money on?
I think it honestly depends on the quality of things, because I'm not going to buy something that's super expensive that has bad quality, because what's the point of buying that? I'd rather, spend loads of money on something that's really good quality that will last me for a long time, rather than spend, big amounts of money on little, small, like a lot of little things that just won't add up to the same quality. It just doesn't make sense.
So you and decided to go into face painting, right? And even though I know the story, so can you walk viewers, I mean, and listeners about how you came up with the business idea to actually start a face painting business?
Well, it was kind of like, it wasn't like a snappy idea, like it wasn't something I was like, oh, we should do face painting business. My brother, like, he really, really likes to do art, and he's been doing art like most of his life. So obviously that was a big factor when we wanted to start the face painting business. And I also like to do art. I've actually chosen it for one of my GCSEs. And like, I thought that I wanted to, like make a brand with my brother or something, because we've already got our two separate clothing brands. So we thought as something how we wanted to make money, during the summer, because obviously, like, as yes, we'll be making money off of our brand during this summer, it's always good to have something on the side that you can always rely on as well. So we decided to make a brand, and I just thought, let's just make a face painting brand, because we both like to do art so much, and we both really are really prideful about our art, so we might as well just do it.
How are you publicizing it? How are you marketing it?
I made a poster which has like all the times and all the prices and everything that you would need to know, like places that we can go to and everything. And me and my mum, we both kind of promote it.
Okay, so your mom has kind of been instrumental in helping you to kind of like grow your brand. So what would you say to parents out there if their children kind of like wanted to kind of like start a brand or start a business?
I think you should let them, because and you should definitely invest in it, because obviously it's possible for businesses that start off with no money to be able to grow, but it's always easier, especially when if you the child that wants to start a brand is as young as me, or was as young as me. It's always good to invest in it, because it will be worth it in the end. And it's I think it's a good idea. I think that it really also helps your child to really go out and be very social, because a lot of the time you do a lot of social events to sell your brand. And I think that if they want to add something to their brand, you should let them, because it like not only does it make them feel happy, but things that they actually want to sell themselves will make them feel more confident and want to promote the brand more, and want to actually show up and show out for it more.
So last year you had the opportunity to kind of like obviously exhibit your brand at a pop up in London, and you were kind of like the youngest entrepreneur. So how did that what value did that bring to you as a person, and also how did you begin to see the value that your brand could bring, not only at that particular point in time but also into the future?
Well, I thought it was good. I think I definitely learned a lot of other things from other brands as well. And obviously, being youngest, there weren't really many people that I could like speak to. So it was more kind of, walking around brands, looking around, seeing what they're doing, maybe even taking inspiration and looking up to the older people who obviously maybe had their brand for maybe a longer time than me, or maybe are just starting out their brand, and I really like the way things look. I think that it really did give me a really big benefit of to my brand, because that exposed my brand a lot, because even people who were just looking in and were just coming out not planning to buy anything, they still looked at my brand, they still, took the time to process it, and they still, asked for my Instagram, asked for this, asked for that. And the people that were buying, obviously it was good, obviously, and it was nice because I get to meet so many new people, and I got to bond with people. And again, it was also kind of a socializing event as well, because it was people that I don't really know. So, and obviously since we don't live in London, it was really nice to have people come in and for me to speak to them, like no matter the age or.
So what do you know, what does investing mean to you? What do you know about investing?
I think investing is when you know, maybe put put something to, I don't know, like a business to grow the business and for future, like, what's the word, like growth, I guess.
Future growth. Yeah. So if I was to give you €100 right now, what would you do with
Spend it.
it? What would you spend it on?
Like probably things that like I want for school.
Yes, good stuff. Right. So in terms of the future and your brand, where do you see your brand going?
I hope that my brand will grow even more and will reach its full potential. And I hope that we'll be able to, to bring more stuff out and to speak to more people and to kind of like make sure that our brand is actually getting somewhere, because we have spent a lot of time on the brand and a lot of money on the brand, and it would be, obviously good for our brand to, to really be even more exposed.
So what are the things that you think you can do to actually do that? So how can social media actually help you in expanding your brand?
You can promote it online
Through
through like, no, like just apps that like you think will gain the most audience.
what apps do your mates go to now?
My mates.
Yeah, your age mates, sorry,
Like Snapchat and Instagram.
and Instagram. Are you allowed to promote things on Snapchat? And
Mm,
it's a genuine question because I don't know.
not really. It's not really something you would promote on Snapchat. Yeah.
Okay, so when you think about your future, right, how do you want money to kind of like support your dreams? So what do you want to be in the future actually?
Well, I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a criminologist lawyer. And I want to study that for college and stuff. So I, I like, I want money to like, look, I want to be comfortable with the money that I have, and I don't want to be in a bad like financial state. Like I want to be able to get my jobs and obviously find a job, be able to provide for maybe whoever's with me, or if I'm by myself. Like I just want to have a comfortable life once I get older, and obviously there's going to be like bumps, and there's obviously going to be times where things aren't going to be so great, but I want like in the long run, like the outcome, I want everything to be like, very comfortable and very stable.
So does your brand have a place in your future? Because right now your brand is where you earn like a lot of money from. Do you think it has a place in your future of being a lawyer?
I think possibly, because being a lawyer is a big thing and it's a lot of studying and a lot of hard work that needs to go into doing that as well. It's not something that's like you you know you go for the job and you get it, but you can still work on your brand on the other side. Like being a lawyer is like a lot, and I feel like it's one big thing. So it's hard to promote my brand if I'm gonna be a lawyer helping people and whatever I'm doing. So I think possibly, maybe, if there's like a lot of time, and if I still have enough time and money to do that, then yeah.
And then now you talk about the fact that you're an actress and everything. So does acting have anything? Well, does it have a place in your future?
I want it to have a place in my future, but it's again, it's with like the lawyer thing, like it's a lot, like being a lawyer, like it's a lot of study and it's a lot of things that you have to go through. So it obviously just depends on like how things are.
As your mother, I'm actually proud that you know that law is a lot of studies. So I can be rest assured that you're going to be studying for your GCSE and your A levels.
One
but
question, one
yeah,
question. Out of all of your many passions, if you could pick just one,
what would it
if
be?
you were stuck and you're like, you just need to pick one, what would you gravitate towards? But
Right now,
yeah.
probably acting.
Mm.
I think that's one that I enjoy the most.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
because I like acting obviously, and I also like going out to do things, and not only that, also because I get to meet new people while I'm doing it as well, and I get to socialize, I get to make new friends. When I was in LA, I met so many new people and I became friends with really nice people who I'm still friends with today. um but I do want to go to LA again, and I do want to act there again, but yeah, probably acting.
Okay, so acting is your passion. As your mom, I know acting is your passion. I'm going to ask you two more questions. The first one is, what does legacy mean to you?
Well, I think when I've heard the word legacy, I think of like building a franchise for your future, and when the next generations of your future come, it'll be like, yeah, I've got a legacy of, I don't know, being related to this person. Most of the money that I've been provided is all from that person who was, the builder of the franchise and things like that.
Okay, you think of legacy as a franchise. I'm actually going to steal that from you because I've never really thought of legacy as a franchise, but it is a franchise that can be, it becomes like, yeah, actually, I'm going to steal that one from you. So, do you actually think that your parents are building a legacy for you?
Yeah, I think they are, but I think once I get older, obviously, like, because obviously I'll be, once I get into college, it'll be less of my parents, more independence. And now I even go to boarding school as well, so I still have to work with independence and my parents not being there when I'm, still at school. But it like I think when I get older and I go to college and things, I think it'll be more relying on me and me making the decisions and less of my parents having to be there for me.
And do you think your parents have been very supportive about investing in your dreams and
Yeah,
helping you to build wealth? Yeah.
definitely. I think there's people out there who want their parents to invest in their business, but they don't want to because they believe that things aren't going to work out. But I think, yeah.
Because I think things are not going to work out. That's actually a very good point that you've actually kind of touched on this. So, if the teenagers listening to you, right, what would you like to say to them if they wanted to start building a business, start building a brand, or start learning about saving? Like, what would you say to them?
I just think go for it and do it. And even if it doesn't work out, at least you tried. At least you tried to experience the things that you wanted to experience. If you ever feel like you want to stop doing your business, you don't necessarily have to do that. You can just take breaks. You can take moments. And I think that you should definitely try and get your parents to invest in it because it makes a huge difference, because you're not going to be able to always have that money to provide for your own brand, because getting stock and doing all these things is really expensive, and the only other way that you're going to get that money is by getting a job. And if you're going to rely on your business and you want to make more stock, if it's something like I'm doing like a clothing brand, then obviously like that. But if it's something different, I don't know, like braiding hair, like obviously like that's, that could be dealt with in different ways. But if we want to start a clothing brand and you want to like sell stuff, definitely get your family to help or try and invest in you.
So, you're saying that social media doesn't really talk about money a lot for like teenagers. So, how do you think social media can be used to actually teach children about money?
Well, social. Well,
You guys consume a lot of social media, right? And
yeah.
I actually find that it's actually quite, you saying it now that there's not a lot out there on TikTok or social media that actually teaches you guys about money.
Well, to be honest, like when I said they didn't speak about money, as in I didn't really think of it as a lesson. It's just not like money itself isn't being spoken, and there is some people that I've seen who are like, teenagers don't spend all your money in one place and all of the stuff like that. Like we do get that, but people don't speak about money as itself as a random topic. Like you won't be scrolling, you'll just see someone, I just spent $10,000 on this bag. I'm gonna spend some more money at this shop. Like people don't speak like that on TikTok. If that's what I meant.
Okay, so but they show you guys shopping hauls and they show you this. So indirectly, they're actually encouraging you guys to spend money on stuff,
Not
but then they're not teaching you guys to
not
save money.
not really, because I send shopping hauls to my friend. My friend shopping hauls to me. It's not to boast. It's just to show what you've got. And most of the shopping hauls are back to school shopping hauls that
As
that
a
we see online. They're mostly, like the only time that teenagers get to do really big spendings of their parent money is back to school. So it's really, hauls aren't like a, like a every week thing or every month thing. Like it's usually like once a year type thing, or maybe Christmas hauls as well. But that will really be like it. Like it doesn't, like hauls don't really like influence us to spend money.
it
It's
doesn't
just like,
influence you to spend money, doesn't mean it doesn't influence other people to
okay,
spend
well, it
money.
doesn't influence me to spend money, and it doesn't influence the friends that I know. It doesn't influence them either to spend money. They'll just say, "Oh yeah, like, did you see this person's haul? Like, I really like that top that she got. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah." But we won't. It doesn't influence us to go off and go on a huge spending spree and to
Okay.
splurge on our money or whatever.
Okay, so if I were to ask you to create a social media campaign about money for teens, what would it be called and what would it teach?
I don't know what it would be called, but I think it would probably just teach making the right decisions at the right time and thinking about, if you were to spend this now, would you really want this in the in the future. Like for example, I know at the time there was a lot of platforms like Shein and Temu and stuff that were very popular in like 2020 and 2021, and people used to spend things that they were trending online, and now people don't like them, they want to throw them out. And obviously I'm a victim to that as well, obviously since I was a lot younger. But it's like people like I'll probably teach them that like don't spend your money on things that you're not gonna wear, or don't spend your money, just don't be not smart with your money. You need to be smart with your money. You need to know what you're spending things on, the quality of them, how you're spending it, when you're spending it, if it's going to benefit you, if it's only for you, if it's for a gift. Like you need to know like why you're spending this money and like how you're going to spend it and stuff.
So, what apps do you spend your money on online?
I don't really spend my money on apps.
No, I
I
mean, what apps do you shop from online,
well, I don't.
or what websites do you shop from?
There isn't specific websites that I shop from.
You shop on Vinted. Why do you use Vinted?
Oh yeah, I shop. I shop on Vinted. Vinted is it's for one, it's really good because there is a lot of brands that do child labor, especially in places like in India and Africa and things like that. Like a lot of brands like very like Zara and stuff, like it's been proven like Zara, and loads of other brands. There's a lot of makeup brands that do animal testing as well. And Vinted is a really good way to also get things for cheaper as well. You can get things that are new without tags, new with tags, like you can get a lot of things for cheaper prices on Vinted without having to spend a massive amount of money on the original product that's that's obviously not good for the environment and for the people that are working. So Vinted is a really good way to spend money. I know lots of people who use Vinted, and if you find the right things to buy, you will get like it will be very very good. um and you can also buy things that aren't being sold now, like vintage things that you maybe seen online that you really like, but they're not being sold now. You can get them for a cheaper price, but on Vinted. So I think Vinted is a really good way to shop for things, and you can also sell your own stuff on Vinted, things that you don't want anymore, secondhand. You can sell them on Vinted as well.
So that means you can also make money on Vinted as well. You talked about so obviously on this platform we talk about like empowering people, we talk about building wealth and leaving legacies behind. One of the legacies that we also want to leave for the next generation is for them to be in an environment like sustainability has kind of become a big thing. So obviously Vinted plays into that whole sustainability thing. And then you talked about obviously child labor. I know, and you want to be a lawyer. So some of these courses are, I know that are like dear, kind of like to your heart. So one of the things that we pride ourselves on in this platform is impacting not only the next generation but also in our generation. So for you, what kind of impact do you think you want to leave in the world, or how do you want to impact your generation? And some of these courses, like social courses, that are actually very very important to you. So
Well, for me, I don't want to make a huge impact on the world in that sense, because I feel like doing all of that is a lot of work, and I don't want to be, the people that are like remembered like Mother Teresa and things like that. Like I don't want to be, that famous. I want to make differences, but in small ways. Like I want, you know, maybe to, I don't know, like get justice for someone who didn't commit a crime that they were accused of, or get justice for hate crimes that are happening around the world and things like that. I don't want to be someone who like, although moving the whole world is a great thing to do, it's just there's way too much, like pressure and things that comes with doing that as well. One mistake and that can not only ruin your reputation, but it could ruin, future families for you as well. Like if you're fighting for something, for I don't know, like let's say you're fighting for child trafficking or something, and everything's going really well, but you make one mistake and all of that goes down, it would probably increase the percentage of that situation because of how great and big that the problem is now.
so you kind of like want to make an impact in your own little way, in your own little corner, but fighting for. But the things that you just mentioned have the ability to kind of like blow up. But obviously, I know you, my daughter, do the things that are important to you, because I know that this summer as well, when you attended an entrepreneurship summer camp and you guys were supposed to come for your business, what you came up with is something that has to do with justice. And so yeah, your heart is really in there. So do you have any final thoughts to say to your listeners? So one for parents and then one for teenagers.
One for parents, I think, is to always just like believe in your child because you know making your child feel comfortable and happy is a very big part and it plays a big part in your child's mental health as well. And I also think that parents don't see it, like always being angry at your child, always making them upset isn't good and it will make them not as confident and it will make them think about things and stuff like that. Like it just is not good to do. I think always try and be happy with your child, always try to make your child comfortable. And if they do want to start a brand, try and invest, even if it's the smallest amount of money that you can put into that, still invest because not only will it make your child happy and make your child more confident in their brand, but it will, help the brand itself. And for teenagers, you're still young, so you don't have to worry about, so many things at the moment. Like you don't have to worry about things that are happening really in the future. You still got your present to live, and you don't need to live on the past either. I think also if you do want to start a brand as well, I think you should also go for it. I think you should also do it because it's a great thing to do. And even if it doesn't blow up the way that you wanted it to, you still got a brand that could be a little side thing that you want to do if you just want to earn money on the side.
Okay. So how cool was that? So today's episode actually showed us that you don't have to wait until you're an adult to start making smart money moves. Our guest today, who is 14 years old, already has her own brand. She started when she was 7. She said she makes money to spend. So when she wants to buy something, she actually goes out there and makes money so that she can actually spend money on that particular thing that she wants to buy. She talks about spending on quality versus quantity, even though she's made her own money mistakes by things on Shein and Timo that don't come in good quality. She mentioned things like Vinted, where you can actually buy things secondhand or cheaper things, even new things at kind of like a cheaper price. She talked about investing in your brand, using your skills to actually start kind of like a side also. Talk about what she wants to be in the future, what impact she wants to make, and how parents can actually kind of like support their children to empower them from a very very young age and for them to begin to build start their wealth journey early and also begin to build their legacies from a kind of like a very early age. So, as always, my name is Anakola, the host, and we are signing out. Remember, your pause isn't just for spending, it's also for building your dreams. And today's guest, she let it slip at some point in time, is my daughter, Oreofe Ola, my first fruits, first of three, really, to be honest. And so proud of who she's becoming. I mean, to be honest, I know I give her a lot of flack for a lot of things that she does, but she is a hard worker. She's built a brand since she was age 7, and no matter how tired she is, she actually just show up in the midst of that as well. Because she's an actress, she has to audition. Sometimes she's in school, she has to audition. She has sports meets, she has and a great can't sleep, and she knows that as well. And then juggling all of that together as a 14-year-old, in fair play to her. Um, I mean, I'm actually really, really excited to be kind of like part of her journey and see where this kind of journey kind of like leads her to. So we had her here to show you that it doesn't matter what age you are, you can actually start building legacy from a very, very young age. She's my legacy. And you can start your wealth building journey from a very, very young age. The meaning of money would change as she gets older. For all of us, we had to go through that journey as well. So if you're a parent out there, maximize if your children, whatever it is that your children are interested in, this is time for you to support them, for you to invest in them, let them make their mistakes. I always make a joke about the fact that there's a book called The Outliers, which says that you need 10,000 hours on something to actually become an expert in it. I pride myself in saying that my children's 10,000 hours started from when they were really, really young. She mentioned a brother who's an artist who's been drawing since he was really, really young, to be honest. And I pride myself in saying that by the time he's like 16, he would have completed his 10,000 hours. He comes up with fantastic things. And then we discover that she's actually really, really artistic as well. And they form brands together. This summer they're like, oh, mommy, can we actually do a sip and paint? Can we get a venue? I mean, they come up with all those things. It just shows to say that they are beginning to take on the lessons that we're teaching them. I was joking with someone saying that I think I've taught my children how to fish, that I am rest assured that no matter where they find themselves in the future, that they can go on and they can actually survive because of the lessons that we are teaching them. So part of your legacy is to teach your children the right values, to teach your children the things that you want them to learn. And it's not just by saying it to them, it's by letting them live it and by them seeing you live it. So with that in mind, we sign up for today's episode. And don't forget to subscribe and share, not only with your friends, but also with your enemies.